Hey, welcome to the Poppy Playtime gaming world. Today, we're going to chat about the most tragic character in the game, Kissy Missy. Let's see what's up with her constant sadness. Give us a like and leave a comment if you liked it. Let's dive in.
I need to make this right.
Let's make a game of you.
Hurry! Let us in! He's outside!
I failed you.
You lied to me!
Poppy Playtime is a horror game that's full of tragedy. It could even be seen as a story of hundreds of tragedies that stem from the same place, Playtime Company. As a result, it's natural that people who the company wronged have become hostile and distrust strangers, especially if that stranger is a former employee. Luckily, the player isn't completely surrounded by hostility when they explore the abandoned factory for answers about what happened to their former coworkers. In the killer environment of the abandoned Playtime Company factory inhabited by swarms of rabid toys, or toys on their way to becoming rabid, the player can still find some allies. Not every ally is necessarily trustworthy, and some of Poppy's actions feel villainous at times, but their motives are understandable when their circumstances and the way they've been living for at least a decade in a rundown factory in the bodies of toys. However, Kissy Missy seems to be an exception among the toys, retaining her kind nature after becoming an experiment and surviving the hour of joy. Little is known about Kissy Missy, but through gathered information, it is revealed that she was made in 1985, 1 year after Huggy Wuggy was created. It is speculated that Playtime Company made her due to the fact that Huggy skyrocketed in popularity, and so they seized the opportunity to create a feminine counterpart to further boost their popularity. Sometime in the 1990s, Playtime Company created an experiment form of Kissy Missy's as part of the Bigger Bodies initiative. In 1995, she was recommended for an unknown work position at Playcare. Her relocation to Playcare was scheduled to take place on August 8th that same year. On her relocation day, Kissy was loaded on a cargo train headed to Playcare per the Bigger Bodies contingency plan. But on the way there, she was suddenly released from the straps as the train accelerated, and seconds later, the hour of joy took place. Influenced by the prototype, or perhaps driven by stress and self-defense, Kissy Missy knocked down 2 workers handling her and later chased down another worker who ran away from her. At 11:14 a.m., she returned to the same position she was originally, but covered in blood and surrounded by corpses. After the hour of joy, with the factory now abandoned, Kissy Missy roamed around inside. She would be present in 2005 when the player returned to look for their missing coworkers. The first time that Kissy Missy appears in person, and not as a cardboard cutout or on a poster, she helps the player by pulling a lever that opens the path they need to go down. It's possible that Poppy requested help from her, but it's also likely that Kissy Missy opened the path simply for the sake of helping. The latter becomes even more likely when Kissy continues to appear and helps the player more than once when they need it. Even if there's hope that the player will defeat the prototype in Chapter 4, there's no benefit in helping them without knowing. The note, weekly checkup 1,172 inches is all but confirmed to reference Kissy Missy. It mentions the fur on her arms, her anxious nature, and her limited communication abilities, which seem to leave her with writing as her only way to speak. Additionally, 1172 is set to move to her new placement on the same day as the Hour of Joy, during which it's known that Kissy Missy is being moved to her new assignment. Altogether, it's fairly safe to say that 1172 is Kissy Missy. Although short, the notes provide insight into how upsetting life was for Kissy Missy following her Bigger Bodies initiative procedure. She expressed her anxiety and feelings of impending doom, and it was decided by the workers that a quiet environment and physical work was the best option for her. However, she wanted to return to her previous living quarters, likely the playcare, which could be why she's seen in Home Sweet Home looking at a picture that might be who she was as a human. Despite the hardships she's endured, Kissy Missy remains selfless and caring. The only times that she turns hostile is when she's afraid, which is understandable given the circumstances of her life. While in the factory, she seems to be on decent terms with most toys, and she's shown to be friends with Poppy in chapters 3 and 4. At Poppy's request, she stays behind to send the player down to the prison, but doing so results in her being severely wounded. When she appears again, she doesn't hold any ill will towards Poppy, and she even saves the player from the prototype by pulling them into a space to hide from him. The toys at Safe Haven welcome her, and she receives treatment and a place to rest her wounds. However, her selflessness doesn't end there. During the ending, when the player is about to fall into a hole that opens up, Kissy Missy tries to save them. It resulted in her losing her injured arm, but she made the effort even when injured. Kissy Missy has had a difficult life, and she's gone through events that nobody should have experienced, but none of that has been able to destroy her kind nature. While it's uplifting that she's managed to stay true to herself, it's also tragic that she's trapped in a life she never asked for, yet she still sacrifices herself to help others without expecting anything in return. Hopefully, it won't be too late to save Kissy Missy from the factory and help her in the next chapter of Poppy Playtime, as she deserves it more than any other character.